What's up guys, Manny from Motor Million and welcome to the 20K challenge. Well, our GSXR 1000 is back. You guys are asking for it on the comments of all the other videos that we produced, and it's been a lot of exciting stuff going on here at Motor Million, so we have to make way for our regularly scheduled bikes as well. So this is also regularly scheduled and you're probably wondering, what's the 20K challenge? I read your comments. Somebody commented and said, it'd be cool if you do something like a 20K challenge. And I assume what he meant was, you get 20K in your pocket, you go pick up a GSXR 1000, and then whatever that's left, you start putting your Motor Million parts on it to make it your own and to make it the best version of this GSXR 1000 with a very, very affordable budget. So, I accept your challenge. We're starting the 20K challenge today, and right off the bat, we're going to assume, which we're being very fair, we're taking retail prices, and also with the bike, it's fair to say a GSXR 1000 brand new you could purchase for $16,000 out the door here in the United States. That leaves us with $4,000, and today we're starting the challenge. We have our first 3 parts to install, which will be a part of our first mods on this motorcycle. Let me show you the parts, let's do the math, and then let's get on to the installs. First of all, that fender's got to go. We have an NRC Fender Eliminator in the tuck position. This is $200. It's annoying to fill up at the gas station with a key. We have our TWM fuel cap at $109.95. And then we have our WRS windscreen that I picked, and this is smoke gray. The bike comes with a smoke color, and this is $129.95. So that leaves us with $3,560.10. Now that we got the money out of the way, let's get these parts out of the way and onto the bike. Well, I guess Ducatis come with loose bolts. Suzuki's come with cracked fairings. This is a fairing that it's not really bad. We'll fix this before we put it in, but there's a nice little crack here on the fairing on the side of this bike. It's not too bad because it doesn't even move much, and we'll put some epoxy on it, but it's a shame that a brand new motorcycle with almost no miles has a fairing like this. As you see, the back end of the bike is all apart, all for a Fender Eliminator, guys. You guys complain about the Ducatis. I'm not going to complain about the Suzuki, but this is an excessive amount of work to change the Fender Eliminator. But I'm very, very motivated to do it because that tail section is a very good looking tail section, and that fender was ruining it. Now we're going to fix it. Let's get on with the install. Well, that puzzle piece is on. I guess once you do it, it's not going to become a puzzle anymore. I did actually look up a YouTube video to see how I could take these fairings off. Now that NRC Fender Eliminator is on, let's put these fairing pieces back on, and we're going to move on to the other parts. Okay, about an hour later, guys, this tailpiece is on. It's not bolted in, but I've been fiddling around with that NRC Fender Eliminator because I just was not very happy with the fitment. We looked at the pictures online. Yes, there's supposed to be gap in here. Now that gap is much better. Before it was much bigger, that I was telling myself there's no way that this could be like this. And I think it turns out that NRC's kit has too long of a bolt. As you tighten this, it bottoms out on the plastic belly piece that's in here and starts pulling everything out. And then we were trying to figure out what do we do. So I tried running spacers on here, it looked ugly. And then we just went to our box of bolts and we found shorter bolts that works much better now. So if you're running into this issue, just a heads up for you. And I want to take this time to let you guys know that none of our videos are instructional videos. We're just showing you guys the process of our builds, but we don't shy away from giving you a tip or two while we're doing this. So for our windshield today, we're running the WRS race screen. The race screen is a taller windscreen. You could call it a double bubble if you want. It is taller than stock, and the stock one is also smoked. Not as nicely smoked as this. Let's put them side by side, and you can get an idea of the difference of height that this has. I think it's going to give that race look to this bike, and also it's going to provide that wind protection that you want once we are tucked behind the windscreen. We got our WRS tall race windscreen on. It looks amazing. I think the smoke color works really well on this. I'm usually not a fan of smoke, but on this bike, since the stock one was smoked, I decided to put the smoke one on. It looks beautiful. Next is the TWM fuel cap. Let's get that on. I'm preparing the TWM fuel cap. 2 of the bolts are dummy bolts, and the other bolts have spacers, and if you come take a look, it has these little O-rings, and they give us little O-rings because when you put your spacer in place and insert the O-ring, then when you go to install it, the spacer won't fall off. I think it's a cool little trick, and it works really, really well, and this fuel cap install is pretty much as straightforward as it gets. Our TWM fuel cap is on. It made a big difference on the look of the bike because it's black, and this bike has a lot of gray and black. It's looking great. Our windscreen's looking good. That tail on there is looking absolutely awesome. I wish this gap wasn't here, but when you look at the NRC pictures, the gap is there as well. We actually tightened it up a little more with those shorter bolts as I mentioned, but I think that's it for this episode, guys. This was the start of our 20K challenge. You can expect us to put a bigger hole in that budget that we have. So far with all the mods that we have done, we have $3,560.10 to spare, and I think we might be getting into the territory of more expensive mods like the exhaust system and a couple other parts on the next episode. You have to stay tuned. For now, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next time, guys, have a good one.